Okay, so I ran into a bit of a recording issue earlier and I wasn't able to show you all of this. But I've moved all of the 4x4 by 4.5 inch thick sections of, I guess, recycled sidewalk that I was able to procure. And I've just kind of expanded my little driveway area. The dirt that I've moved out of the way, I'm just going to kind of push it back over the edge. And this is going to give me a good firm foundation for whatever I want to put on there. And then once it gets into all the cracks, over time it should fill in any of the any crevices underneath it. But so far, things have been going really well. These things are stupid heavy. I mean, like really, really heavy. But it hasn't been much of an issue for the 50G John Deere compact excavator. And at this point, the dirt is going to kind of act as grout, filling in a lot of these holes. I'll probably grab the tractor here in a little while to spread it out a little bit more evenly at least. It's hard to imagine that when I got this excavator, I had absolutely no idea how to operate it. And now it feels a lot more natural to move the controls than it did back then. This is that 24-inch bucket that I picked up for $250, I think. Maybe a little less than that. I can't remember exactly anymore. But I refinished it and made it look really nice. Okay, so I'm actually day 2 now, and I am just putting a few more of the concrete blocks right here over here. I'm just extending it a little bit further. So it doesn't need to be very long. It's just going to be an extra little pad on the side, and I'm using these pavers, or these recycled sections of sidewalk, commercial sidewalk. If you haven't seen the video where I loaded those up on the Texas Pride trailer, yeah, that was a heavy load. I have 8 of them down already. And then what we're doing right here is just clearing the ground out a little bit, pulling this. So right next to it right here, you can see that they've already been laid down. I'm not going through like an extraordinary job of trying to level all of this, just kind of making it level as I can. Okay, so we have 12 of the blocks laid out right here. I used another 2 a little further down there for a little walking trail or a little walking path through the gate. But yeah, we got this all set up. We used the reclaim that we had scraped aside to put back over it to fill all the gaps, almost like a grout material. I blew off most of it, but I do need to clean off some more of it. It's relatively flat. I didn't go through like extreme, pains to make sure it was completely flat, because I'm dealing with 900+ pound blocks that are a little difficult to completely get flat, if you know what I mean, especially when it's on sandy loam. But we got it laid pretty flat, and it looks pretty dang good, and it's going to give me a nice place to be able to park maybe another trailer or vehicle or something we're working on, where I don't have to worry about gophers getting underneath it. That was an issue with the Mini X when we had it right here. Gophers and all sorts of crazy stuff would mound up underneath it. So I don't think they're going to do anything with these big concrete blocks here now, but it does give me another platform, which is really nice. And again, once it all dries up, I'm going to get all of this reclaim off of it, so I have bare concrete right here, just with the little gaps, but most of it's been filled in. But yeah, it's been a interesting project. I do wish that I could go back and get more. I might have to, just for other projects around here. But again, I do prefer, when everything's said and done, that they lay completely flat. So there's a couple little things, such as having a dedicated spot to use my Celoton scales. If you didn't watch the videos from way a long time ago, actually like 2.5, 3 years ago, where I have Celoton scales that give me the ability to weigh up to like 150,000 pound vehicles, and give an accurate readout of what they actually weigh. So axle weight, all that other stuff. The more challenging part of it is I only have 4 of them that I can use for a vehicle, and trying to position a trailer or something on top of it to give me the weight, and then taking it off and then reweighing the vehicle, considering it's a 2-inch bump up. I'd have to put spacers under the tires that aren't on the scales to be able to get a perfectly accurate readout. Anyways, fun project. Glad we're wrapped up with it. And I think it's going to work out exactly how I planned. I have one extra concrete block right there that I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, they turned out really good. And I was really happy that the thumb and the bucket were able to lift them up with the excavator. On to the next project. So real quickly, I want to talk about a project that I just completed. I installed this Ghost Controls dual gate opener on my ranch gate. I don't know if you guys saw a long time ago when we got this property, we installed this much wider, deeper ranch gate so I could bring bigger trailers in, including the 5th wheel, the Gooseneck, as well as any major deliveries, or if we have to get a semi-truck back here. It's worked fantastic. The challenge I have, though, and it's not really a challenge, it's more just me being a little lazy, is I hate having to get out to open the gate and then drive through it and then close the gate. Or if I have a delivery coming, I hate having to be here, so I have to go down, open the gate for a delivery or someone who might come through with a big truck. So I put this gate opener on that's supposed to be really good. It's probably the best reviewed I've seen. Got it on Amazon. This was not a sponsored video at all. I paid nearly $900, I think, for this setup. This is the solar setup. It came with a 10-watt monocrystalline panel with it. Inside of this DeWalt box, which I have chained to the post and I also have anchored into the ground, is a really cool Blue Yeti battery. That battery is really awesome because it's IP65 rated, and it's going to be living out here. And I have a solar charge controller in there, but this also has a charge controller inside of the main box, which you actually feed the solar panel into the main box, and the main box then feeds down to here. I have everything ran. I'm going to get more conduit to kind of cover things up, but this is just the preliminary run. I cleaned up the wiring, shortened things the length that they needed to be, so there wasn't just a ton of slack out. And this thing works really good. So you get these little remotes, press the button. I love the fact that it opens this gate a little bit sooner, because when they close, they kind of overlap a little bit. But that is a really cool system, and it's supposed to have a 1,000-foot range with these remotes. So I haven't had a chance to test everything out yet, but it works really well. And then the good thing is I can close it with the remote. I might set sensors up so whenever like the RV's passing through, it won't unintentionally close if I'm not all the way through it, or any type of trailer, I suppose. Right now I don't have it set up with sensors, but I also have a locking system. By the time you see this, will be in place. So basically it's a lock that's electronically controlled that will mount to the end of the post. So when the two fences come together, it actually locks with this metal rod to prevent the fence from being able to open, or being able to be pushed open just by force. So that is really cool. So far, I am thrilled to death with this. It did not, again, come with the battery. I had to add the battery and the battery box, which essentially is one of these DeWalt T-stack boxes. And yeah, this is going to work out really well for me. It probably took all of about 3.5 to 4 hours to install. It wasn't very difficult. You just had to know where to put everything. It was actually pretty dang easy. On the wiring, though, they say do not splice or extend the wiring or you'll void the warranty. And at first I had to kind of question whether that also meant do not cut it to length. But it's perfectly fine apparently to cut it to length. You just don't want to extend it, because they're concerned that there could be a voltage drop if you do that. And of course that could cause other problems. So yeah, Check that out. That is really, really cool. I actually fabricated these brackets right here because it didn't come with any real way for me to attach it. You're supposed to put it at the most midpoint of the fence. You're not supposed to put it at the top or at the bottom. It's supposed to be kind of in that midpoint. And that wire mesh right there is pretty dang thick. So being able to install it the way I did is actually going to give it a good amount of strength and a good amount of surface area to be able to get a good grip on the fence. And the fences aren't terribly heavy. So very cool. What do you guys think? Have you guys done a similar project maybe on a fence you have? This is a cool system. Do you guys have any familiarity with Ghost Controls, though? How do you feel about the brand? I hope it lasts a long time. I've heard really, really good things from folks who have left reviews, but I don't necessarily have any personal experience except for this. And this was really easy to set up, so I'm super impressed with the simplicity of it and how everything's marked. But I'd love for you guys to drop a comment if you've worked with them before, if you've used their products, and know what you guys think. Okay, so now I'm about 500 feet away. Let's see what happens. There we go. Yeah, so it doesn't reach quite as far as I had hoped it would, but it's more than enough for me. And in most cases, I'm going to be kind of, you know, out here monitoring, and I can scoot up closer to the fence if I need to open it. But I really, really love how that's working. I just wish it was definitely a lot closer to the 1,000-foot range that they were talking about. And this is pretty ideal because it's line to sight. It's no terrain. There's nothing really in between except some trees. But from here to the actual control box is pretty much line to sight. But I will definitely give you guys some feedback on it. And if I do any upgrades to it, if I add sensors, I already have a camera that points at it. So it's an alarm trigger. So if anything comes through or even comes up to the gate, it triggers and it sends it to me over my, my cellular signal. So I have the ability to monitor everything. That's not the problem. Again, by the time you see this, I'll have a locking mechanism on the front, which is really cool. And all that's designed to do is to prevent someone from like pushing the gate open to squeeze in between. And then finally, yeah, I'll probably have a sensor eventually that kind of crosses a path just in case there's a vehicle halfway through or there's something, you know, blocking the gate. It's not going to try to close. I might put an exit sensor in, which is essentially something that you run back about 100 feet, and when you drive past it, it disrupts the magnetic field and it opens the gate. I have one of those on my main gate, but on that gate, I'm not sure if I'm going to add it or not. But we'll find out. I think the benefit of this ultimately is the fact that if I'm hitched up to the fifth wheel or the gooseneck or another trailer and I have to go through there, all I have to do is drive up to it now, open it, go through it, close it. I don't have to worry about having to get down, go up to it, you know, get everything opened up, go back through it, then close everything back up and lock it up. This is going to be a really convenient way of getting in and out of the property with the bigger trailers. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again real soon.